Welcome to Cyber Eagle Defense, your hub for cybersecurity excellence with a Christian perspective. As a cybersecurity student, will you join me on this journey where we explore the digital realm through the lens of faith? Let's dive into ethical hacking, network security, and powerful tools while aligning our learning with Christian values. Let's cultivate a community where cybersecurity skills and spiritual principle coexist with each other, empowering us to protect and serve the digital space. Subscribe now and embark on a cybersecurity adventure that integrates faith and knowledge. Now, let's get onto the video. Well, again, this is Cyber Eagle here, and on today's lesson, we'll be going over memory and variables. Pardon me. So, computer programs, they use variables, and it's a way to for a computer to remember important information. A good way to think of it is like items that you put in a shopping cart. Prices and discounts, right? So think of this as, here's your variable, which is what helps a computer remember to store information. So think of this as your shopping cart, and here's the item or variable value that would be stored into a variable name. It's pretty simple. So the line code below tells the computer to store information in a variable called item. So if I just quick show and demonstrate, let's bring up PyCharm. So here it is. Here's item. That's our variable. And here's our variable value, bike. This can store it into the item. If I hit print, if you remember from the last video, it's a command that's going to tell the computer to display on the screen. So if I store this correctly and hit print the variable, which is item, which is I want to see what information's in this shopping cart, if you want to use that analogy, what items are in it, and hit run, and it comes back with a variable value of bike. So bike is what information is stored into item. So now you kind of see how that works, more of a visual. Let's continue. All right, so we're going to try complete the code below. So to create a variable, you just need to give it a name. So let's create a variable called item. So we'll, again, always go from left to right. So this part's missing here. You can always use this as a reference. We need an item, because that's where we're storing bike into the variable. And let's check it, and we're good. And let's continue. Rest of this should be straightforward. Again, any point, need help, got questions, comments, let me know in the comment section. On Go's website, they have plenty of helpful hints. Watch my last video, I show you where you can click on the comments and you can see why things might be wrong or why they're correct. Okay, so next time I'm going to store is going to be a variable value of phone that we're going to store. So, and we'll always remember, when it comes to text, we need quotation marks. Always. And that's check it. And then we're good. And we're going to continue. Variables have a name and a value. They are connected with an equal sign. Right, so that's how we make a connection. Otherwise, it'll come up an error and it's not telling the computer what to do. We need to tell it for our value name, watch, to store it into a variable item, we need an equal sign. That'll tell it where to store it, because that's like a connection line. And we're correct. Let's continue. All right, complete code, store information, variable name, country. So we got our value, which is the name of a country, France. So we want our variable information to be stored. It will be country, and then to or store it, we need equal sign, and then let's check it, and we're good. And you'll see this is a really good website. It's going to be fairly straightforward. But I'm just going to continue to do this video so you can walk along with me, just in case one of these videos might actually be a huge blessing to you and help you. Okay, you can think of variable as a box that contains information. Use the image to identify elements of the variable. Okay, I thought I saw something. Okay, so variable name, we got city. So I guess we need to put a city name. Think of variable box stored information. Use image to identify elements of variable. So I'm actually not quite sure what we're talking about. Use the image. I'm not seeing anything here. If you guys had done this part, maybe let me know. I'm just gonna click one of them. Let's say London, and I got it right. So it's the name of the city. Don't know what's supposed to be image there, but we got it right. So complete the code, store information in a variable name country. So we got a France as a variable name. So we want to store the variable country and equal sign, and check it, and we are good. Okay, so think of variable box contains information. So it's the same thing. I don't know if this is a repeat. Let's see what happens if we do the same thing as the last time. Check it. Still good. Okay, so the variable value is London. All right. Okay, we're gonna create a variable that stores the user's device type. So we got a device type that's our variable value, iPad, and a variable here makes sense. We're gonna do device, and then we're going to need to tell it where to store it in. We need to make that connection with an equal sign and check, and we're good. All right, so humans, we give codes or instructions, right? That's what like a program is, a set of instructions to computers, but the code will also can be read by other humans and the future you. Such your code is in human readable format. So what would you name a variable? Remember, a variable is what we're going to store the information in that stores a user's account balance. So out of these two, we're going to talk about account balance. That's something we're doing with money and finance. So a variable name to store that information, balance, will make the most sense to me. Let's check it. And of course, yep, that's a logical step. All right, and now the line code tells the computer store information in a memory. So now we're getting into memory here. So we got a message, level up. So we're going to identify the elements of the variable. All right, so we're just going to break it down. Basically, it's going to have us do. So a variable name, or known as a variable is being stored. If we see it here as message. And I think it goes from top to bottom. Let's see here. Okay, it does. So in this case, if you're doing these kind of questions, go right first. When you go top to bottom, go right to left. And then a variable value. So I think the variable value is right here, level up. That's what we can store in a message. Essentially, this is saying send out a message that states level up. All right, now check it, and we're good. So we broke it down. All right, looks like we got a little question here. So true or false? Computers can store and recall information faster and more accurate than humans. That's pretty straightforward. Of course they can. If coded correctly, they can. Computer program can store information like user's progress in a video game with adapters or variables. So if we watch this video so far, it's going to be variables because that is what information will be stored in. It's going to have to have a name, kind of like if you're creating a folder in a computer. That's the way I like to think of it. What's the name of a folder that you can store your data in? So that's going to be variables. So check it, and that's correct. And we continue. All right, and so it looks like this is the it for this view of this lesson. But if you follow with me so far, we learned that computer programs use variables to remember important information. And because a variable has a name and a value, right? Because the variable name is the information we're going to store into a variable. You can create a variable by connecting the name and the value with an equal sign, right? You got to connect it together, so that tells the computer where to store it. All right, so that is it. So guys, I'll see you on the next video, and I hope this has been a huge blessing to you. I'll see you next time, and God bless, and keep coding. All right, bye.